Hey Sagittarius, hope you're doing well this evening. It is June 27th, Saturday night. We're going to do a reading for the upcoming week. And yeah, tomorrow is the 28th where Mars enters Gemini and will be there for the next 7 months. This is going to bring a significantly notable shift in our communications with one another. A lot of rapid communication, a lot of back and forth going on. It's fast paced. It's deliberate, but sometimes it can kind of turn out to be some communication that lacks too much forethought. So we want to make sure that whatever it is that we are communicating with those we are trying to connect with, we need to make sure that our messages are clear and are conveyed just the way we want them to be understood by the one that is receiving them, if that makes sense. Yes, Mars and Uranus in Gemini in the past, in a historical sense, had been in the sign of Gemini when we've had breakthroughs in our innovations with technology, such as the atomic bomb, nuclear energy, things like that. The American Revolutionary War also occurred when Mars and Uranus were in Gemini, yes, in 1776, and so forth. But anywho, let's get into your reading. I'm forgetting something. I wanted to say something, but it slipped my mind. So we are going to go with the Moonology, Astrosoul, and Talisman Oracle decks. Oops. Let's see, Moonology. What is it that Sagittarius needs to know? Prosperity lies ahead, and we also have it's time to release negativity. That is so interesting. I've shuffled this deck, this Moonology deck, I don't know how many times off camera as well. And this Prosperity Lies Ahead card is a new moon in Taurus card, and the It's Time to Release Negativity card is a full moon in Scorpio. So I don't know if you can see this. I thought I turned my autofocus on, but anyways, hopefully you could see that well. I am squinting too. I really don't like the fact that I'm squinting. I have my glasses here. There we go. Please don't mind me. This is a lot better. A little smudgy, but I can see. A lot better. Sometimes. Talisman Oracle deck here. My dear, is this upside down? Okay. What does the Talisman want Sagittarius to know? Financial security. So if you have any financial worries at this time, I think, I'm not trying to say, oh, don't worry about, a thing. You're going to have, an abundance of finances fall into your lap. No. I just think that you should have faith that everything is going to turn out the way that it should, and that you will be safe, you will be okay, and your vibration is going to be a significant key factor when it comes to maintaining this sense of regulation and inner balance. Rebirth. Excuse me, I had to burp. Rebirth. So maybe there's going to be a situation that helps allow you to release some sort of stagnant or stagnant, stuck cycle that you may have been in when it comes to your financial aspect, your financial department in life. Maybe you will discover a solution to an issue, an ongoing financial issue. Whoops. And then from the Astro Soul, Sagittarius, we've got Taurus, Taurian energy here. This is all about, themes that Taurian energy consists of are things like, financial abundance and our materialistic possessions. That is those are Taurian themes. What else? Your self-worth, the way that you value yourself as well. First quarter also kind of flipped out, making decisions, obstacles, taking action, momentum. So once you find out whatever this solution is, make sure that you initiate action towards this solution to rectify whatever's going on. Plutonian energy here. You might have something going on with possibly your home, your property, your possibly some sort of asset that you possess, that you maybe have felt like you were stuck with. That's what I'm getting with the Taurus first quarter and the Pluto card. Those three together, I feel like it's like there's a need for you to initiate action in uprooting something that has been still and stagnant for some time, and some sort of radical sweep of whatever this is. You may be trying to contemplate whether or not you're going to be doing some, not you yourself, but contemplating whether or not you are needing to initiate some sort of demolition project. I don't know. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's get into the tarot, Sagittarius. That was interesting. Okay. So something possibly having to do with the homestead, not your roots, but maybe like a family home that's been that's been under your name or one of your family members' names, and maybe you can't sell it. Maybe it won't pass the inspection, and for some reason you're not able to find anyone, not even the bank, that would want to buy it back. I don't know. There's something about eliminating something that has been stagnant. This could be a mindset. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is a mindset, to be quite honest. It is a mindset of apprehensiveness, the false belief that you are incapable of speaking your truth. 3 of Cups, Ace of Wands with the Princess of Cups, 7 of Wands, 7 of Cups, and the 5 of Swords. Oh my god, Sagittarius, what did we get ourselves into? I might change decks here in a second. I feel like with the 8 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 7 of Cups here, there had possibly been a past situation, Sagittarius, that left you feeling depleted, defeated, and incapable of, not that you are incapable, but you believed you were, take these off, you believed you were incapable of making some sort of decision. And this had a lot to do with some sort of sentiment that you held close, that was dear to you, some sort of sentiment. So I see with the 3 of Cups here. And I feel like because of the value that you had for whatever this is, you never made a decision. You never made a decision on what to do with this long-standing sentiment. Lord. Capricorn energy with the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. That is Libran energy, and the 6 of Swords. I keep burping. I just had some strawberries not too long ago. That was about it. Excuse me. So I feel like, Sagittarius, you're really trying to look at things from a higher perspective when it comes to whatever this is. With the 6 of Swords here, with the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, you're wanting to make the wisest decision possible that would ultimately benefit everyone involved. You're not wanting to make the same mistakes again. I see this with the Queens. That is just non-negotiable, not something that is even to have on our conscience. That's what I'm getting. Yes, another deck for this read. Prince of Wands. Prince of Wands energy, death, and the Devil. I feel as though you may have allowed your ego to take the driver wheel, and this ultimately triggered some sort of wound. I don't know what this is. I'm going to use another deck for this. I really didn't think that was going to happen. go with the Pulp Tarot. Sagittarius, what is your overall energy? The Tower. You have become the Tower, Sagittarius. That is your overall energy. Going around triggering people, bringing people's shadows out to play. I'm joking. You might be doing that, I don't know. The Tower. I need to elaborate on this. Why is this your energy? 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and the Page of Swords. I feel like you want to surprise somebody. I think there is some sort of shock factor that you're wanting to bring into somebody's life somehow. This has to do with a partnership. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partnership. I see the Page of Swords here, and the Page of Swords is someone that researches. So I kind of, I don't know, got the sense that this is possibly a partnership in research. And I see that you may have realized that you have come up with some sort of idea, some sort of objective maybe that you would like to dig into with someone else. Because I feel like with the 10 of Cups in the middle, and like I said, this doesn't have to be romantic, but whatever this is, you feel as though the more that you find out about it, the more you realize it's something that would bring you great happiness, great fulfillment and contentment working on. So you may have stumbled upon some sort of research project that you want to explore. You'll definitely be surprising somebody. It will come off as a surprise if that is your intention. Maybe an exciting surprise. Something intriguing. What else? 6 of Cups. 10 of Wands. I keep scrunching up my shoulder. I had 2 pillows underneath me. I think I'm going to put the one back underneath me. Oh well. Okay, we've got the 7 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. What else? Sagittarius. Death. Scorpionic energy. The World. Wow. And the Queen of Swords. Okay, I almost called you Scorpio. I'm going to clarify these other cards as well. Why not? Queen of Wands, Page of Cups, and the 6 of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, clarified by the Page of Wands, Magician, and the 10 of Swords. Ace of Wands, 3 of Wands. So there is an element of anticipation for something to be initiated. Um, I don't know if this is in regards to your research project that you're wanting to initiate, or if that is something else. But the Six of Cups clarified by the Death, the World, and the Queen of Swords here is telling me that something or someone from the past here is resurfacing, and with the Death and the World, Queen of Swords, the World, and the Death. Oh my gosh. We'll come back to that. I'm getting like several different interpretations at once. It's not very easy to explain, but the Ten of Wands being clarified by the Queen of Wands, Page of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. There has been some sort of burden that you've been carrying, and with the Queen of Wands energy coupled with the Page of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, it's telling me that there's been some sort of dynamic in your life, some sort of dynamic where you may have felt like you were very much the one that was asserting most of the authority, most of the power. On the other end of this dynamic was this Page of Cups. I don't know who this Page of Cups is, but you felt as though they did not hold the capacity to explore their emotions very deeply. And I feel like this reason, the reason for them, the reason for this dynamic to not actually work out is because they just were not capable of giving you what it was that you were wanting, which was this equal give and take in the way that you were wanting. What they were possibly offering you was something that lacked substance, or just wasn't substantial. I don't know. And so this dynamic right here had just become a burden for you. I feel like you have dropped this burden. Yeah. I feel as though you have. I feel like this is something that is of the past, that is behind you, and you are no longer weighed down by this. So, what is this? The Seven of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. So, the Seven of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles are clarified by the Page of Wands, the Magician, and the Ten of Swords. This is telling me that you've identified, possibly, I don't know, this might not resonate, but you may have possibly identified what the driving factor in a very tumultuous, very toxic cycle had been. You identified what the driving factor was. This may have been something that you didn't want to acknowledge as the driving factor um, for making you loop again and again through this toxic cycle, whatever this 10 of swords is. Page of Wands and the Magician. It's like you were. Page of Wands is not very. Oh my gosh, what is the word? The Page of Wands is not very keen to what he is needing to assert when it comes to a plan of action, right? He is just full of passion and inspiration, full of, creative ideas and endeavors, but it's an energy of not yet being able to solidify whatever it is that he is wanting to implement. And it's like when you put the Page of Wands alongside with the Magician, it's like putting what's an appropriate analogy for this? Oh my goodness. It's like giving, and I think you already know where I'm going with this. It's giving someone who has no freaking clue as to how they're supposed to wield a sword. It's like giving, it's like giving I wanted to find a really good analogy to give, but it's like almost as though you were unconsciously or unawareingly manipulating a specific type of scenario to perpetually move forward. And it was like you were unaware of how impactful it was. I don't think you were aware of the power and influence you possessed at one point. I think you only saw something as a pastime, fun and games, something that you just kind of did for fun and you didn't take seriously. But you, even though I'm seeing now, this is past energy. Even though I'm seeing you as the Page of Wands here in your past energy, you had, it's like you were like don't get insulted or anything, but it was like you were like a 10-year-old with a golden sword to slay a dragon. That was not a good one, but you had that capability, and you wield that power that you possessed like it was nothing, and you didn't understand how well you wielded it, and somehow it somehow it has been biting you in the ass ever since. What is this? You know what I think it is? I think it's your power of influence with the magician here. I think in the past, you probably saw yourself as this page. You probably saw your capabilities um, amount to no more than what a page was capable of possessing. But you had no idea how. This is funny. It's not funny, but it's wild to me. It's like you weren't aware of how influential, how persuasive, how, I don't want to say cunning, but it's like you didn't know uh, how manipulative you may have possibly been in the past. It's almost like it was your superpower. It was your power of persuasion that I think maybe because of your level of expertise and your level of understanding on how it was that you were needing to wield your power correctly, I think that's what got you in trouble with getting yourself stuck, because you may have abused the power that you became aware of having. It's crazy. Sagittarius. So, okay, you get the idea, you get the point. Sagittarius, what the fuck am I reading? Anyways, so those are clarifying the Seven of Swords, or might as well be here, right? Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Together, this is not bad. But when these two are clarified by those three, it's kind of giving me this energy of you, understanding where you found yourself at one point. You found yourself going over into this perpetual toxic cycle over and over and over again. Ten of Swords, this is a cycle that is involving intellectual anguish. Intellectual anguish. It's true though. It is an energy of being driven mad through the thoughts and memories that have been haunting you, that you have haunted yourself with. But this is only if you have that awareness. If you lack empathy, and if you don't have that level of consciousness to where you are actually thinking outside of yourself and about the emotional well-being of others, if you don't consider other people's feelings, you will continue to go through this vicious cycle, believing that you're getting some sort of rush, possibly, from from knowing how deeply manipulative you can possibly be. This is crazy. Don't hurt me, Sagittarius. I'm just playing. I'm just reading the cards here for real. My battery is about to die on the camera, so we'll see in a moment. We will be talking about the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups here in a moment, and what they represent as they have been clarified by the Page of Wands, Magician, and Ten of Swords. So I don't know, this is like extremely interesting, extremely intriguing. I kind of know where this is going. Yeah. Sagittarius, I will see you in a second. I do not want this camera to cut off on me while I'm talking midway. So I'll see you in a second. All right, Sagittarius, I'm back. I'm glad I got another battery for my camera because it's definitely saved me some time, but I wish I was able to do readings earlier in the day, but I've been pretty busy with cleaning the unit above me. I'm moving again. In the next 3 days, I will be completely moved out of this unit. So, just to be above where I'm at right now, for several different reasons. It's basically identical to what you see behind me, but I don't know. The kitchen and the bathroom are a little, a little bit more renovated. Anyways, so yeah, I've been stupid busy, stupid scattered, trying to just, hang on and tell myself everything's gonna be alright. Probably sounding completely insane as I'm telling myself that, because we'll get back to your reading in a second, but with this Mars in Gemini position, I looked at how this is going to be impacting my natal Mars and my natal Saturn as well, because both Saturn and Mars are in my first house, and Mars semi-sextiles Saturn. So that is why I am the way that I am with my everyday, day-to-day, mundane life. The chores, the responsibilities. It's a lifelong, I don't want to say curse, but I hate it. I don't hate it because it's made me who I am today, but it's a little, can get a little overboard, extreme, and I don't like that. And this Mars and Gemini energy plays into that push and pull tension that I get from the Mars semi-sextile Saturn aspect. It plays into it by creating that scatteredness within me, and if I'm not careful, it'll turn out bad. It almost has, and when I say that, I mean that as in I've just almost gotten carried away and off track from what I've needed to do during my time off work. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. Yeah. Anyways, I'm still figuring it out for myself. I'll be fine. I'll survive. And this move, I don't know if I'll survive the move. I'm gonna start moving stuff tomorrow. All the stuff that I can, and big furniture piece like my couch and this heavy ass table. Oh well, I'll find some couple of people to move it. Moving company, right? Anyways, your reading, Sagittarius. We were talking about how in the past you probably were not aware of the impact or the power that you possessed through this. It's a gift. It's a gift of yours, Sagittarius. This magician energy here that you still possess. This is your special talent, your skill. It's your unique gift that nobody can emulate or replicate, duplicate, whatever. It's yours, and even though it's quite exploitative in a sense, and it can be quite destructive on another individual's psyche that is not equipped to what would you call it, to counteract this dangerous gift of yours. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius, what am I reading? What happened to your research project? Damn it. Oh my gosh. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. I feel like at this point in time, Sagittarius, you are aware that your psyche may be very just exhausted over going through these perpetual cycles, this perpetual cycle in particular. Exhausted and just, I feel like you're more so just, in a sense, disinterested in it or dissatisfied with it. Or you may even feel like a sense of remorse because of this cursed gift of yours. It's nothing to laugh at. Your gift, whatever this gift is of yours, whatever this is, it's extremely impressive. It is, it makes you out to be a force to be reckoned with, and you have been. Your overall energy was the Tower, so anybody that wants to play with fire, Sagittarius dares you, because you will be you'll be swept off of this plane. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups is telling me that at this point in time, you've got options. You've got options here when it comes to something. I don't know what it is. Is it options in how to wield this gift of yours? Because you no longer want to wield it the same way that you have been in the past, that has kind of left you spiraling, basically spiraling into and over and over and over again into this Ten of Swords. I'm not laughing at you, Sagittarius. I'm just making light of your, I don't know. It's, I don't know how to explain your situation. It's like your gift is so powerful, so it can be so destructive, and yet, you, Sagittarius, adorable little Sagittarius, is the only one that is capable of manhandling this gift. And it's worn you out. Sagittarius, you're assessing something. You're re-evaluating your options. I feel like these options, let's look into a few different scenarios. Scenario A is you reevaluating the ways in which you want to harness this gift. You're trying to really see which way of utilizing it is going to take you far into the future. What option is going to pay you back in returns? You know what I'm trying to say. What option is going to benefit you in the long run, essentially? That goes for harnessing your gift. Scenario B is you reevaluating your options in love. You have many options. You can pick too many, but you can only pick one. I think that turns you off and away from the idea of pursuing a monogamous relationship with someone, is that you, with that type of relationship, you can only choose one because you are aware of how many you have to choose from. And you've been stuck at that precipice for some time, which you've been okay with because you just never told yourself you were ready or that you wanted that in life. And that's perfectly fine. Sagittarius, you little devil, you little troublemaker. Me personally, I love Sagittariuses. When I was in my 20s and in my teens, obviously, in school, and then right after, when I was going out, I had a Sagittarian friend. He was a guy, but it never got to, the point of us feeling any romantic feelings towards one another, or we never messed around or anything. He was just nothing more than someone that was my friend. I wanted to say that was in the friend zone, but which, yeah, technically yes, but I'm not trying to sound so rude, but it was purely a platonic friendship between us, and that was my partner in crime. When we used to go out partying, we used to party, and we had a fucking blast together, and it was just the vibe. between us was great. And it was great because he was a guy friend that I didn't have to worry about wanting to try to, fuck me one night or something. Sorry for the language, but it was just Sagittarian energy is great. Guys are crazy. But anywho, Sagittarius, what's scenario C? Scenario C could very well be how you're going to go about a certain situation, or how you're going to operate from here on out. We've been operating through this one specific frequency, and you may not really be too familiar with other ways of operating. You need to think about that, because if you don't consciously apply a completely different way of operating through the mind, you will sink back into that past pattern, and it's going to bite you in the butt even worse than what it did in the past. Because if you're going to be taking that pattern with you into your new chapter in life, let's say you do that unconsciously, you behave through that certain way of being every once in a while, here and there. Doesn't matter, it still counts. Do you get what I mean? I hope this makes sense. I feel like I'm just talking mumbo jumbo BS. So you really actually have 3 scenarios that you need to think about before your new chapter in life. You need to behave as though you're wanting to create a clean slate. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius, this has been a very interesting reading. As far as your research project that you're trying to initiate with somebody, maybe, I really want to look into that. We did not extrapolate over this Queen of Swords, Six of Cups, and Death. I think this is, Six of Cups. I usually revert right to a past life or a past connection. But honestly, in this reading, this Six of Cups here, I feel like is representing that pattern. It's a deeply karmic pattern that it has become embedded into your subconscious, that so deeply into it that you're not even aware that it you play it out, you project it outwardly in front of others. Let's say you don't really want to share or reveal this pattern, this behavioral pattern that you have to others. It's kind of like your dirty little secret or something. At this point, if you continue to operate through that pattern, it's going to be, in a sense, projected unconsciously. Like you're not even going to know that it is, that behavioral pattern is what it is. And you're not going to see anything wrong with it. You're not going to even be able to see or understand that you're doing it, because it's going to be in your psychological blind spot. I don't know how else to explain that. But in these three cards, are representing it's like a order of events, like a chronological order of events that's needing to take place. It's like, being stuck with this pattern, this behavioral pattern that is karmic, and that you need to work through. You need to untwine yourself. There are no intertwinings in this Six of Cups, but in a lot of other decks there is that interwovenness that connects different components in the imagery. You need to undo this karmic bind you have, because it's going to liberate you. Libra energy is the Queen of Swords. It's going to liberate you if you untwine yourself. Untwine yourself, Saggy. Drop that shit. Just drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Learn about how to drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot, like the Queen of Swords, because she's cold as ice. I honestly feel like this whole reading, Sagittarius, has already happened. For the Sagittarius that I'm looking at, you're already in a transitional period. There's no going back. It's all just trying to figure it all out at this point as you go, and that is perfectly fine. Just don't stop, don't look back, just keep heading in the direction that you are heading down, because you're not going backwards. So it's got to be the right way forward. God, Sagittarius, what? The readings have been very interesting lately. So yeah, these oracle cards in the beginning, I guess, were depicting you needing to release a very, I did say something about uprooting something, right? Where is that stick? This is my bag that I take to work, to the lab. And I do tarot readings at work for my coworkers. Whenever we have time, here and there we will have some downtime to where somebody wants a reading, and I give it to them. And it's funny because all of my coworkers' readings that I've given so far have been all about endings and beginnings. Or I've realized that I find myself encouraging them to detach whatever situation was at the forefront for them for good reasons too. I won't get into details because that would be messed up, but you know where I'm going with this. You catch my drift. You feel me? I feel you. I have this is it Sex Magic Tarot deck? And I really like the deck, and I don't know what it is, but I just can't really connect to it as much as I want to. Like when it comes to an intimate / sexual type of tarot reading, I really wanted to dive into that, but as for now, I guess I'm not that great at it. Oh, I was going to show you the Six of Cups card in here. This deck I had purchased as my the second. I don't know what's wrong with my speech has gone down the drain. My second deck. This is my second deck that I had ever purchased about almost 10 years ago. My first deck was the Thoth deck, but I have to say this deck is by far my favorite. It just ended up being my favorite. In the Six of Cups here, you'll see the intertwinings in the center. This card also had reminded me of the declination of parallel. Was it the contra parallel lines when we're talking astrology? That's what it reminded me of. Whichever one is obviously not parallel. Parallel. I think it's the contra-parallel lines of declination. Is that how we word it? I'm not an expert. I'm still learning. But yeah. Anyways, I've interpreted some different messages with these cards based on like the astrological aspects that I had in my mind. So anyways, Sagittarius, are we doing a love reading, like a love portion for you? We can. Raise your hand if you want to. Okay, kids, let's do it. I am going to I'm going to use the Thoth deck. Yeah. No. We'll use the Pulp Tarot deck. I always want to call it the Pulp Fiction deck. Oh my god, another long ass reading. I mean, just this portion, this half of the reading is 31 minutes long plus. The first half that cut off was 40 minutes long. I think I'm going to speed it up in CapCut just so I won't have to see how long I've been doing readings. I don't know, but I did like this reading, Sagittarius. It made me laugh. But you know what, Sagittarius, too many. As I was just saying that, I was thinking about how it truly is a blessing to be able to look back on certain situations and be able to laugh about it. That's how you know you have gained a broader understanding over the situation, and we've come to like a certain type of acceptance and a level of compassion for whoever was involved. And yeah, what a ride, Sagittarius. What a ride. I liked it. I liked it a lot. This is who you're involved with, Sagittarius. Really? Could be a Capricorn. Don't get me wrong. The devil is a very powerful teacher. A lot of times, if it's not devil energy that teaches us how to straighten our asses up, we usually don't learn. We are usually too stubborn or too ego-driven to accept, what we need to face. So, don't underestimate the devil energy. Two of Cups. The devil, Two of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. Sagittarius. Death, Scorpio energy. Whoever this is needs a rebirth. I'm joking. I don't know who this is. I hope this battery's not going to die soon. We're close to 40 minutes on this one too, but you know what I'm getting, Sagittarius? Oh God. I'm getting, this is straight up trauma bondage. Are you trying to trauma bond with somebody, Sagittarius? Do you think it's hot to trauma bond? Oh my God. Because I think I saw that in your energy. Not that you're attracted to, not that you're desiring to trauma bond by no means, but I feel like in your energy, you have, for some time, why did I do that? For some time you have been attracting someone that, oh gosh, I know I'm aggravating you with my speech, but bear with me. Maybe tomorrow with Mars hopping into Gemini, I might just, have like a rocket up my ass by tomorrow with everything that I'm saying. I don't know. What I'm seeing here, Sagittarius, is that there is somebody in your proximity that is trying to hook onto you. Yes, yeah. With the devil there and the Nine of Swords and the Two of Cups in the middle, this is two people with wounds that originate from way far back, and you two share a commonality in this dynamic, this trauma bonding dynamic. I see it perfectly. Oh my gosh, this is fucking wild. Just with these three cards, I will explain everything just with these three cards. The devil, we know, speaks of an obsessive level of control, a fixated, extreme level, a level of extreme control, a toxic attachment. Now, this Nine of Swords here, this, when somebody's in the Nine of Swords energy, they lack a great deal of self-control, a great deal of mental control, right? Um, in the Nine of Swords, this is somebody that is in intellectual anguish. This is my new way to describe the Nine of Swords. Um, Intellectual anguish, it's someone who lacks control. This is someone who is extremely obsessively controlling. I'm not saying that you are either of these two, Sagittarius, but you and whoever this individual is, I don't know who this individual is, and this is not my reading. Okay, buddy. So, you and this, whoever this individual is, you two share uh, control as the theme, as your commonality, as the thing that would be the trauma bond between you. How romantic. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. No, that is fucked up. This person, whoever this is that is trying to hook onto you, it's because they lack control. And in their mind, because this person, maybe they are aware of their distant past wounds that this lack of control originates from, but maybe they're aware of that, maybe they're not. But one thing is for certain, they don't know any other way than to hook onto you than through their sacral chakra, through their sexual energy. That's the only way they know how to hook onto you. Because they don't understand that, and it's sad, I'm not making fun of whoever this is. They don't understand that they do have the power to attract someone through the heart space. Oh my god, that's really sad, but it all makes sense. It all makes sense for this particular situation. You, Sagittarius, and that individual. Yeah, and you, Sagittarius, you unknowingly believe that this person is someone that could fulfill a sexual fantasy of yours. Yeah, I already know. I see it. This dynamic is a controlled. Here we go. It's a controlled environment. I'm joking. I'm coming up with the research terminologies. I used to be in clinical research. I was a clinical research coordinator for a neuropsychiatry. Yeah, I learned a lot. Trust me, I learned a shit ton. And I had catered food every day? I think so. Because I know I gained some fucking weight. We had a lot of good fucking food coming in for lunch, and we had a lot of sweets and baked goods and all that jelly belly type of foods as well. Loved it at that time. Definitely wouldn't do it again. Anyways. Sagittarius, I'm a mess. I'm a fucking mess. And I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Your reading was the perfect place for me to be a mess in. But, I don't know, Sagittarius, you need to be careful with this. This person represents a very, very, very hard karmic lesson for you to learn if you decide to go down that path. Which I don't think you do, because what you're looking for, Sagittarius, is something a little bit different long term. I'm not bashing on this person. I actually feel really sorry for this person. They have some childhood wounds. Both of you have, and this is another thing, Sagittarius, through these connections that you have sporadically here and there, these connections that you have with these different individuals are ways for, let's say, for example, for like a person from me who is observant, these connections are a way for me to understand exactly what kind of wound you still carry within you that you are not aware of, maybe, possibly. This person here, you and this person, the wound that both of you operate from are from childhood. That person, I don't know if these are repressed or not. I don't know if these are repressed on your end either, but I know that these wounds are, they are related to power dynamics, like abusive, controlling dynamics that you and this person had witnessed in the household when you were little. This person that's trying to trauma bond with you. It's really sad, but they went through childhood trauma, and they never healed. They never healed from it. They never got help for what happened to them, because they still behave. They behave in the ways that they do, and those ways that they behave through are indicative of trauma in those ways. I'm like trying not to like say too much about this, because it's a very touchy subject. I don't really want to get into it, but this is where this individual's wound stems from. Their wound of lacking control, or believing that they do not have control over certain situations, or certain relationships that they have with people. They lack that control because throughout their trauma, they were, in a sense, stripped from their own control. Control was taken away from them when their trauma had occurred. My God, this reading like got really, really bad, really dark, but it's real, and I'm not talking shit. I'm not making shit up. I'm not. But yeah, like if you just follow the trail, these are the things that are what you find. It's really sad, and I really hope that that person gets help one day. They are most likely a grown adult at this point, but their sacral chakra is completely blocked off. It is completely blocked off because it's overactive. It's they're really busy with their sexual energy, and so this as we know, takes away from their creativity. And yeah, because of that, they feel the only way they can get to you is to hook onto you. They're not even attracting you. So be careful about this one, Sagittarius. Hey Sechi, I just wanted to come back on here after my camera cut off again and say good night. I hope that you could take something out of my reading. If not, at least I could make you laugh. I'm trying to, loosen up and lighten up in some of my readings. So this was a good run for my money. But anyways, Seji, I hope that you take care of yourself.